The crash came first. Wood splitting, glass screaming. I was standing in my kitchen, coffee untouched, when the alert lit my phone. Motion detected, living room. I didn't rush. I didn't shout. I watched. The camera feed showed my father's shoulders hunched like a thief's, a baseball bat clenched in hands that once held mine. My mother stood behind him, jaw tight, eyes cold. The first swing caved in the credenza. The second shattered the window. They were past words now. This was punishment. 5 years earlier, they'd cut me off with a phone call that lasted 90 seconds. My sister needed help. I didn't fit the plan. Love apparently had conditions. I learned them all at once. We used to be a family that believed in order. Sunday dinners, shared jokes, my mother's habit of folding napkins into neat triangles, my father's lectures about responsibility, delivered like commandments. I was the quiet one who paid his way, fixed his own messes, and didn't ask for applause. That made me expendable. My sister never learned consequences. She learned bailouts, credit cards, promises. When her debt ballooned to $150,000, the call came to me, not to ask, but to demand. "Sell your house," they said. "You're single. You don't need it." The words were clean. The intent was not. I said no. The silence afterward was heavy. Then came the pressure, guilt wrapped as concern, threats disguised as disappointment. They talked about family as if it were a weapon they owned. I let them talk. I listened. I planned. The shift happened quietly. The night I realized they wouldn't stop. I sat in the dark and wrote a list. Cameras, insurance, deeds. I made calls. I asked questions that sounded harmless. I signed papers that changed everything. I sold the house to an LLC I controlled. Clean, legal, boring. I leased it back, installed security, upped coverage, documented every conversation. I waited. The feed showed my father swinging again, breath ragged now. My mother screamed at him to hit harder, to make a point. $40,000 of damage piled up like kindling. They wanted me to feel small. They wanted leverage. The sirens arrived on schedule. Blue light washed the room. Officers stepped over broken glass and asked questions my parents couldn't answer. Ownership, permission, intent. My mother's phone rang. My name lit the screen. I let it ring. When I answered, I kept my voice even. "Hello, Mom?" Her voice cracked. "They think we broke in. Tell them it's your house." I pictured the deed in a file drawer, the lease agreement, the insurance writer, the cameras recording everything, including her face as she realized something was wrong. "It isn't," I said. Silence, then panic. My father grabbed the phone. "Don't do this. We're family." I watched the officer's pen pause mid-air. I watched my father's shoulders sag. "You cut me off," I said. "Remember?" The truth landed like a dropped plate. Loud. Final. I emailed the documents while the officers waited. Ownership, trespass, vandalism. The timeline told a story without emotion. Facts don't need revenge. They just stand there. My parents' faces changed when the cuffs came out. Not rage, fear. The kind that strips away entitlement. My mother reached for me through the phone, voice small now. "Please." I ended the call. At the station, they asked if I wanted to press charges. I said yes, calmly, without flourish. Justice isn't loud, it's procedural. Insurance covered the damage. The deductible came out of a civil judgment. The rest followed. Restitution, probation, a record they couldn't argue away with tone or history. My sister called once. I didn't answer. She sent a message about blood and loyalty. I archived it. Weeks later, I stood in the repaired living room. New glass caught the light. The credenza was gone, replaced with something simpler. The house felt lighter. So did I. They tried to reach me again after sentencing. Letters this time. Apologies written like contracts, each line bargaining for access. I didn't respond. Closure isn't something you give, it's something you keep. I learned something in the quiet that followed. Strength doesn't announce itself. It documents, it prepares, it waits. They came with bats to break me. They left in cuffs because they never understood who owned the ground they were standing on. I do.